For static shots, learn active recovery to neutral. For moving shots, learn to recover based on where the ball is going. Today, let's discuss the techniques, common problems, and solutions for the forehand-backhand transition. First question, why do you fail to transition between forehand and backhand? It's because your stance is too static. When your stance is static, all your energy sinks downwards, making you heavy. When the ball comes to your forehand, you'll feel the need to relax your legs before you can even start moving. If your weight is sunk down, you can't move. During a backhand rally, your body must be in a state of alert readiness, always prepared to move. To get your center of gravity onto the balls of your feet, you must lean forward. Otherwise, your weight will never be in the right place. If you stand upright, your weight is on your heels. If you lean back, you're completely immobilized. So, engage your core and lean forward, and you'll be ready to move and cover your forehand. The moment you stick your stomach out, your weight shifts to your heels, you become static, and your forehand becomes immobile. So in a rally, always lean forward. Even if your heels aren't lifted, your weight will naturally shift to the balls of your feet. Second point, let's talk about your ready position. If your stance is too narrow, you'll never reach a wide forehand ball. For your backhand stance, widen your legs. Once you've covered the backhand side, you only need a small step to reach the forehand. The problem is your right foot is positioned too far to the backhand side. This leaves your forehand wide open. Therefore, when playing from the backhand position, your right foot must be near the center line to better protect your forehand. Third point, you need rhythm in your rallies. Without it, you can't keep up with the pace. For example, in a 2 backhand, 2 forehand drill, my body follows the ball with a rhythmic 1-2 bounce, both vertically and horizontally. I think of this rhythm as a spring-like motion. It's the same for the backhand. Keeping your feet and legs from holding a fixed center of gravity is the ultimate goal for advanced players with good anticipation. When you're starting, you must have this rhythm in your transitions. Otherwise, you'll be static, and the ball will jam you before you can swing. Imagine your legs are springs and use a small bounce, but don't overdo the movement. If you can master this, your footwork and rallies will be solid. Now, let's move to the upper body. Should you rotate your waist when transitioning from backhand to forehand? The answer is no. In a fast rally, rotating your waist will get you jammed. It only works for slow balls. Some players ask why we teach waist rotation in fixed-point drills. That's to learn how to generate power from a stable position. However, when you're moving, you don't have the conditions for a full power shot. So, when moving from backhand to forehand, open your hips and waist as you get into position. You should arrive ready to hit, not get there and then rotate. When you arrive at the forehand side, there's no 1-2 motion of pulling back then hitting. Your body is open the moment you arrive. Only then can you sink your body and your stroke to meet the incoming ball's power. If you arrive first and then rotate, the ball will be on you before you finish your backswing, making you late on the contact. This is a very common mistake for amateur players on their topspin shots. So, when you get to the forehand, first, establish a stable base. Second, keep your body rotation minimal, as this shot requires a very quick arm action. My body action is, get stable, accelerate, and then break instantly at contact. Even for players with large strokes from mid-distance, the body must stop rotating at impact. If you keep turning, the ball will go long. The reason you miss long is your body is still rotating, which makes your arm action late. The ball jams you, so you can't close the forearm in time to control the arc, and it flies off your paddle. On your forehand, your forward arm swing must be fast. This isn't about rhythm, but about explosive speed at contact. Whether you're close, mid-distance, or far from the table, this instantaneous stroke speed is non-negotiable, or you'll miss the shot. On the forehand transition, the looser your body, the slower your arm. Body and arm speed are linked, so a loose core leads to missing long. Therefore, you need a stable body, a stable center of gravity, and a compact stroke. For example, if your opponent pushes long after your serve, there's no time for a full rotation. Get there quickly and loop it using mostly your arm and wrist. For these rushed shots, you have to react fast and complete the stroke quickly to avoid being affected by the spin. So for topspin rallies, minimize body movement. Find that hit stop feeling. Your body must break sharply, not just keep twisting, which is too slow. Next, let's talk about your hand, specifically, the grip change between forehand and backhand. If your grip is too forehand dominant, your backhand will feel awkward. If it's too backhand dominant, your wrist will be hooked on the forehand, resulting in a powerless shot. Have you ever felt like your game is actually getting worse? It's often because your technical flaws weren't exposed in lower-level rallies. But as you face stronger opponents, those flaws get magnified. It's not that you stopped improving. So let's start with the grip. The standard neutral grip has the V of your hand aligned with the edge of the blade, not biased to either side. After a forehand, to switch to backhand, pull your index and middle fingers back slightly. This shifts the grip for backhand power. When the V of your hand shifts towards the backhand side, you are set for a powerful backhand. Transitioning from backhand to forehand, as you move, extend your index and middle fingers slightly to adjust back to a forehand grip. Going from forehand back to backhand, just curl that index finger in, and you're back in the backhand grip. If you only focus on one side, like just blocking on the backhand, you don't need to change your grip. But if you want to attack with both forehand and backhand, this grip adjustment is mandatory. A good forehand grip is one that allows you to open the angle between your racket and forearm for a power loop. For the backhand, the standard is a firm wrist, distinct from the forearm. Don't just flick your wrist, you'll never develop a strong backhand. Many amateurs say their fingers aren't long enough for a proper index finger placement. The reason is an incorrect, deep grip. A deep grip naturally makes your racket face point upwards, fixed at a 9 o'clock angle. This only allows for blocking, not generating spin. The lower your finger placement, the more you can drop the racket head, which allows for much more spin against backspin. If your contact starts at 9 o'clock while mine starts at 7 o'clock, my loop will naturally have more spin. From 7 o'clock, I can hit a power loop. But trying to force power from a 9 o'clock position makes your stroke stiff and you'll hit into the net. Also, a high index finger placement creates a tense hand and a stiff stroke, and the shakehand grip is already prone to being too tight. The shakehand grip has more palm contact than penhold, making it easy to lose the relaxed, nimble feel of a penholder. If you have a death grip, your whole arm is tense. Combined with improper mechanics, this is a recipe for injury. The thumb's position, however, remains mostly stable. Just rest it naturally. 2 more points on arm technique. Frequent rally errors often come from an unstable wrist at contact, causing you to hit long and lose confidence. Because of this, many players back away from the table. Being further back creates a longer trajectory, so they miss less. But moving back surrenders the initiative. You're forced into passive defense, waiting for your opponent's mistake. At the moment of impact, you must keep your racket face stable. During practice, consciously focus on making every single shot stable. This is the only way to ensure consistency in a full table rally. Your stroke must be firm at contact. Brace your joints and don't let them wobble, or you will make unforced errors. Finally, let's talk about recovery. In single-point drills, after each shot, you must actively return to your ready position. This is called recovering to neutral. Most amateurs freeze after their shot. This is wrong. You must build the habit of active recovery in training. Recovery is a relaxed return, not a forceful one. The sequence is, explode into the shot, then relax back to neutral. In a rally, after your backhand, don't recover to the center first and then move to the forehand. You'll be too late. The correct way is, let your racket travel in a high arc in front of your body as you move, adjusting to the forehand racket angle along the way. Most amateurs have a flawed recovery. They recover to the center first, which forces them to take a much larger swing on the next shot. If the ball comes back to the same spot, you might manage. But if they change placement, you'll be late. In a real match, you must watch your opponent. You're playing against their shot, not a coach's feed. Therefore, if the ball returns to the same spot, recover to neutral. But when changing sides, recover through the high arc path in sync with your footwork. In a match, not every ball is a wide shot. If you don't recover after your first attack, the follow-up will be awkward. Active recovery makes it smooth. In summary, for static shots, learn active recovery to neutral. For moving shots, learn to recover based on where the ball is going.